from Sand Hollow Homestead. My daughter blessed us with a bunch of pears from the state of Washington. When she came down to pick up her kids, my grandkids, they stayed the summer with me for about a month, a little over a month, and you know, she's been raised that when you have fruit, you may have some bad fruit, but you cut out the bad and you save the good. So with that thought in mind, she brought down her some pears from her tree. She has two different types of pears, and one pear is already ready to be processed because it's getting pretty ripe. And they were bruised up, but we're going to make some good out of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make some applesauce, and I've never really done applesauce before. My wife has, but my wife works now, and I don't. Well, unless you call homesteading work. So here I am, just kind of trimming these up. Now, I don't know if you ever watched Road to the Farm, and I'll put a link to it so that you know what their channel is. But I'm basically doing it the way she has. I think she had better pears, and I'm using what I have. So, and I don't want it to go to waste. So I got my pots ready, and my jars are in the dishwasher, and I'll be pulling them out later. But for right now, I wanted to process, cut up, trim as much as I could, and then put it in a pot. And then I'll put it through my my juicer, my strainer. And once I get it through the strainer, I should have a pretty good batch. Now I have a colander, which is what she uses, and I can, well, if I look hard enough, I could probably find it. But ooh, this one here is pretty rough. You know, if I can get that much, which ain't much, but if I can get that much out of a pear, that is going to be a few bites of applesauce for somebody. And you're saying, well, what about the bacteria? What about the rot? Won't that destroy the flavor? Well, first of all, I just cut out the worst of it. And the bruise, it's a lot of the bruise it has to do with the sugar content. It's just like potatoes or anything. The older it gets, the higher sugar content. Same thing with sugar beets. And so that's why it turns brown. Yeah, it got bruised, but it's that sugar and that age and that bruise kind of all in, well, it's nature's way of breaking it down and bringing it back to the earth. We're all from the earth. We're all, you know, we're all from the dust in that sense. And these, the fruit will go back to the earth. I picked cherries this year, and I got 10 gallons of cherries off my brother-in-law's tree. And I did freeze them. I didn't can them. And I'm a little nervous about what I have in my freezer. And I'll tell you why. I did mention it in one of my videos, and that is we had a incident where something fell inside of the freezer, and it slid to the door, and it propped the door open, and because of that we lost some vegetables and things that, now the meat was defrosting, but it was still cold, so we refroze it. And it's best if it's canned. And what I just did recently is a neighbor offered me, well, she had some jars for sale, and I bought 30 dozen jars at a good price. So it's not a new price, but it's better than new price. And well, number one, it solves my problem for having, I needed some more jars, and number two, that's what you do to neighbors. You know, when you hear that they are trying to sell something, there's a reason why they're trying to sell it. And you support your neighbors by buying your neighbors' goods. And I didn't go to Walmart. I did what I thought was best, which was spend my money at my neighbor's. Another neighbor was moving, and I bought some of his goods and give him what he needed out of it, and it was a fair price. And that's the kind of thing that we need to do. And that's a big spot there. We've got to support our neighbors. Now, is it an organized thing where all the neighbors do that? No, that ain't the way it is. And I wish it was, but it's not. And have I gone out and introduced myself to all my neighbors? Man, I need to do that. I really do. That's one of the golden rules. It's one of the commandments of God, and that we treat our neighbors as ourselves. And if we're going to do that, we need to know our neighbors, and we need to be good to our neighbors, same as we are good to ourselves. So if you can understand that, it's just pretty basic. The benefits, well, are lifelong. Just like Deep South Homestead has talked about on his website, is that it was the old timers, the neighbors, that was good to him, and he was good to them, and they had a lifelong friendship. And look at the benefits. Look at the benefits. And now he's passing that on to his friends and neighbors. And friends, you're his neighbors, and friends too, you're on the internet. So I've got a bowl about full. I don't know that I can get much more in there. And so I'm going to stop the tape at this point. And you've seen how Road to the Farm has done her pears. And so if you want to see how it's done the right way, go to the channel, Road to the Farm channel, and then search for pears, and one will come up. And she's also teaching about tatter lids on jars. Tatter is a different type than the metal lids that you can purchase at the stores. And she explains why she thinks it's the best way, because she feels like it's more sustainable. And I have to agree with her, because the metal lids you can only use once. So folks, go to her channel and you'll see what I'll be doing here. I will be adding a little bit of nutmeg and cinnamon, and that's going to give it a little bit of special taste. And if there is any, let's say, off flavor because of the age and bruising of the pears, then that will just make it that much better. So you all have a good day. I got a lot of work to do. I got 2 boxes of pears to do. I also have 2 apple trees that are totally loaded. God's given us a bumper year, and 2 years ago I had a bumper year on my plum trees. Well, my plum trees died, except for maybe 1 branch. And I do have a suckling tree that's come up, and it is doing pretty good. So I didn't know what it was. In one of my videos I said, are these cherries, are these plums? What? They're yellow plums. Yellow plums. I'm shocked that maybe I threw it by that tree. Maybe the birds dropped it. I don't know. But I've got me a new yellow plum tree, and it had plums this year. So that tells me that that plum tree's been growing for quite a while. And I actually ate some of them off of that new plum tree, and it's not bad. I do have to do some trimming and developing of that tree. But apples, oh my, I am going to be thoroughly busy with apples. I hope that my family can help me this weekend, and we can get some applesauce made. This is pear sauce, and you know, I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you. Little under 20 foot a row picked, and that's a 5-gallon bucket. I'm going to guess that's about a 3-gallon bucket there beside it. Pretty good size peppers. And we left the small ones on, and we're down there where the chairs are. That last chair is where I got to do some more picking, but I got a 70-foot row. Then I got to go over to the bell peppers. But I'd say, oh, I guess I forgot about this row here. There's jalapenos to pick here, and lots of peppers. I said this year I wasn't going to be short on jalapenos. Yeah, kind of overdone it. But I know folks that can use them, so it's not like they're going to go to waste.